Hello, and welcome to your 1 hour personal development growth, taking yoga off of the mat into the real world. I'm super excited. We'll wait a couple of moments just to get people joining in. I see someone's coming. Hello. I'm very excited. This is one of my most passionate subjects to really talk about and share and just ignite hopefully some yoga love, yoga passion into you as well for those who are joining. So there we go. We'll start in a few moments. We'll begin with a short discussion, and as most of you probably would have seen the topic already, if you have any particular questions that you would like to ask me, feel free to just drop it into the comments, and if I can't answer them during this live, then I can answer them afterwards as well. So feel free to ask away. I'm going to get my bolster ready. We're going to do a 5-10 minute talk. It probably will be 10 minutes because I do like to talk about this. So yeah, for anybody else who's joining, welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna get comfy. Okay, so yoga, taking yoga off of the mat into the real world. I would like to start off by saying that there are, just to begin with, I won't go into too much detail, but there are 8 limbs of yoga. And one of them it's called the yamas, which is basically your universal practice. It is how you conduct yourself as a person. And it is all about self-awareness as a person. And what I will do is I will literally link to how the yoga practice on the mat adds up together with you taking it off the mat and how it all connects together. And so one of the yamas, the universal practices, is ahimsa, which is non-violence. And as soon as I say non-violence, it may come to you as being very physical with someone, right? But I'm going to take you a step back and ask you to direct that towards yourself, your thoughts. We can be very violent to ourselves just through our thoughts of how we speak to ourselves, of what we say to ourselves. For example, if we look in the mirror, what do we see in front of us? Are we judgmental? In that form, that is still violence that you are kind of directing to yourself from yourself. And so what yoga and what the philosophy of that teaches us is to really be non-violent with our practice, with ourselves, with our thoughts, with our actions, not only towards one another, but towards ourselves personally. And the more we can really grow as a person to really become aware of the actions, of the patterns, of the feelings, of everything that we do with ourselves, the more our outside reality, the people that are surrounding us, the reality that we can attract and create for ourselves in the external world starts to reflect our internal environment. And what yoga does, it gently starts to clean it all up. So just like sometimes, not sometimes, I think most people go through this at some point during the year, like spring clean, right? You want to spring clean the house because all of a sudden you're getting this urge out of nowhere. It's the same thing with yoga, but with yoga, once you have a consistent practice, you tend to clean bit by bit, and everything comes in its own time. It's like the perfect alignment with the universe, the perfect time to, I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to explain it, but it's just everything comes in its own time when you're ready. And the more we try to force things to happen, whether it's a certain pose that you're trying to work towards, whether it's a certain goal in real life that you're working towards, right? So connecting, for example, you're trying to work towards a pose that you keep on struggling with, that you're having issue with, that you're having maybe like you just physically can't do it. You can connect that to any goals that you have in a real life. How do you deal with that on the mat? Do you just give up straight away? Do you keep trying? Do you want to learn a little bit more of the physical practice, alignment, for example, to help you get there slowly with time? Or do you just drop everything and give up because you can't do it? That reflects very much so how you deal things off the mat, by goals, by situations which come and meet you. If something is more challenging in life, do you straight away back off and just drop and then just give all your power away? Right? So it becomes really interesting when we start to connect all of those things together. And really, everything that literally happens, I know it's very cliche, but literally everything that happens on the mat, all the struggles, all the wins, all the highs, all the lows, are reflecting exactly what will happen in the real world. Yoga really helps you to distress, to ease any physical pains, as well as any other things that you might have perhaps with your lower back, with your shoulders and everything else. But for example, it also helps us clean up all those emotions and really makes us aware of who we are as a person. It's like having an onion and then peeling each layer of the onion. The onion is us. Peeling each layer of the onion to find something a little bit more underneath. And once you've found it, you have to really nourish it. You really have to go into it. Sometimes we avoid because we are humans are just full of comforts. We love to be comfortable. We don't want any change because it feels uncomfortable. I mean, who wants to be uncomfortable? However, to grow to be the best version of yourself is to get a little bit uncomfortable. And I don't mean to completely stress yourself out and be like, yeah, I have to be stressed because I have to feel the uncomfortability. Yeah, no. I'm talking about just put yourself out of the comfort zone a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything drastic. I'll have a few notes here written down, so I'm just going to quickly check in with myself. And also part of the ahimsa, the non-violence as well, going back to that, it's treating others as you would like to be treated yourself. And again, we have heard this sort of saying like everywhere, but then do you actually follow through with it? Like, for example, the other day I got into a not quite nice situation, and after sitting with it, if it wasn't for yoga and the practice and the self-awareness that it taught me, I probably would have sat there thinking that it's the other person's fault, because my ego was like, you know, it's their fault, they reacted differently. But I took a step back, I took some time to sit with that situation. I'm not going to go into detail with it, but it turned out that if I would have not said anything to the person because I felt a little bit annoyed, it would have not escalated to that certain point of then me having this kind of like, not a nervous breakdown, but it was more like, you know, I felt really upset and it kind of ruined my evening as well. And so what yoga does is it really teaches us, the more we become aware of our practice on the mat, of our body, of our thoughts, of our feelings, the more we can control of what happens and how life happens to us. We are in control of our lives at every single step of the way. So for example, it doesn't matter what life can throw at you, this will help you to deal with things a little bit more better. It doesn't mean that, oh, because I'm going to think positive thoughts, because I'm going to just be like positive all the time, even when I feel really sad and upset, everything is going to be perfect. It does not mean, no, it does not mean that at all. It means that when challenges, when sadness, when things that make you triggered come along your path, you will be able to accept and deal with them with more, I guess, with more understanding, with more gratitude, with more awareness. It is very important to process every single thing that comes to us, because if we don't process it, if we don't try to perhaps maybe a little bit connect the dots of why it is actually happening in our external reality, it then can become as a little bit of a trauma that we hold within us, because we are avoiding going into that uncomfortable area of our lives, if that makes sense. So everything is meant to be processed. Once you process your feelings, once you process your thoughts, once you have sat with it and just really try to detach yourself from any ego in terms of like, oh, who was right, who was wrong in a situation or something like that. we can just really then start to let go. And moving on to letting go now, I feel like this is going to be all connected now. So moving on to letting go, a lot of times people say, but how do I let go? I feel really upset. Even after a month or two, if somebody has upset me, how do I let go? Because yoga and everything else teaches us, oh, you just need to let go, just let it go. And it is purely when we realize that letting go, it doesn't mean that the person, whoever done wrong to you and made you upset, is right. It doesn't mean that. It feels like if we say we're going to let go, it means that the person who's done the bad thing towards you is right and they had every right to do that, or it means that you have just forgiven them completely and whatnot. And yes, part of letting go is forgiveness, but it doesn't mean that the person is right in any sort of way. The letting go happens because you need to let go of that feeling within yourself to be able to move on and have more peace within, right? Hopefully that makes sense. I get these little connecting dots when I start to talk and then I start to go off on one. So hopefully this all makes sense. And so for example, let's say the practice of binds in your yoga practice. A bind is, for example, when you, I don't know, let's do this while sitting up. So bring the right hand to the back, left hand to grab hold of the opposite. So basically doing your shoulder bind here, right? Some people cannot do this, and some people are stuck all the way here and they're like, oh, I just can't reach. I feel weird. I feel like my shoulders are hurting, right? So it makes us feel uncomfortable. And so how does that reflect into the real world? Well, just as it is, the uncomfortable situations, right? And again, it's how you deal with those things. How do you prepare your mindset for that? How do you speak to yourself? How do you handle the uncomfortable sensations or the uncomfortable situations? It's all connected. So the next time that you come onto your mat, which will be in the next couple of minutes, I really want you to be aware of ahimsa, non-violence, your thoughts, your feelings. As soon as you catch yourself saying a negative thought, oh, I just can't do this, oh, it's just too difficult, I want you to pull back and just say, I'm trying, I got this. I might not be able to do it just yet, but I'm working towards it. And I know sometimes these sort of like positive, I guess, words may sound like very cliche or something that you hear on a constant basis, but it does actually work like an affirmation. And just like, for example, I'm going to give you like an example of, let's say you have a field of grass and you walk the same path every single day, right? There is no road, there is no tracks, nothing, just a field of grass. And you take the same route on the same grass bit every single morning and every single evening. What happens after a week? Through the repetition of you walking up and down every single morning and every single evening, there now becomes a little pathway because you have managed to walk the same way on a constant basis, a repetition every single day. So it's exactly what happens with your practice, with anything that you do in real life. Consistency and repetition paves the way for a new kind of like brain path to be entered, and then you automatically with time start to do it without realizing. So the positivity, for example, the positive thoughts, the positive outlook on life slowly starts to come in automatically for yourself, because you no longer have to be so much aware to change your negative patterns into positive, or negative thoughts into positive thoughts, if that makes sense, right? So you slowly start to pave a new path for yourself in terms of your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and everything else. So I hope this made sense. I always say this, I hope this made sense, because I feel like I'm always getting like guided into this little like labyrinth kind of thing. When I start speaking, it just goes off. And like I said, if you have any particular questions about maybe perhaps what I said, or just questions from yourself that might have come up during the conversation, please comment below this video and I will be able to respond. And we shall now begin the practice. So I will be turning the music on, and it will be, from what I can see now, roughly a 45-minute practice. And for anyone who is joining, who is completely new to yoga, give yourself the space to rest whenever you need to. Some of the poses might be too hard for some, and some of the poses might be very easy for some. If you have a consistent practice, you will probably have your own favorite poses that you can do day and night, right? And then you avoid the ones that feel uncomfortable, when actually we need to go into the poses that make us feel uncomfortable, right? Because it's all part of the growth. You will feel so much better for it, honestly, just for trying. Like, give yourself that little break, give yourself that little push sometimes. And whenever you need to take rest, if you find something that is just like too much, take a child's pose, sit down, do whatever you feel called to do. It's all about tuning in. Sometimes when I put on a video that I would like to practice myself, they're already halfway through and I'm still resting, because it's what we need. We don't need to like exhaust ourselves trying. Just enjoy it. Try to find ways that you can enjoy your practice as well, right? So it's the same for life. Take pauses, take holidays, take little breaks. Everything is connected, right? So let me turn on the music. If you can find a comfortable laying down position on your back, on your mats, we shall start. And so once you are laying down on your back, I would like for you to make sure that your legs are nice and wide. Your palms are facing upwards. And then a little bit away from the body line. The arms should be a little bit away from the body line. And we're going to all together take a lovely deep breath in. Hold the breath at the very top, allowing the chest to rise, and slowly breathe it out through your mouth. As you second round, inhale in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And one final third round. Inhale in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Place the left hand gently onto your chest, but allow your elbow to rest. And the right hand onto your belly, keeping the eyes closed. As you breathe normally, connect to the flow, the inhale and exhale of the breath, the lift, the fall of the belly. The rise and the fall of the chest. Becoming present of your physical self. How does the physical body feel today? Check in with yourself. Your body speaks to you every single time. And then just take this moment to set your intention. Setting the intention for your practice, for your day ahead, and for your weekend perhaps. What would you like to invite into your practice? What would you like to invite into your internal environment? Do you need more stillness? Do you need more movement? Do you need more peace? Do you need more laughter? Do you need more support? Really connecting to your purest intention from your heart space. And once the intention has been set, stretch the arms overhead and point the feet forward. So a nice big stretch with the whole body. And as you exhale, gently hug the knees into the belly and the chest. Wrap your hands around the shins or the backs of the thighs, whatever feels good. And take a few gentle rocks from side to side. Connect your lower back to the ground. So as you rock from side to side, you get a natural massage from the floor beneath you into the spine, the back muscles. Rolling onto the right side of your body. With your left hand, press on up into your seated and then work your way to a tabletop position. And we're going to bring the knees nice and wide. Toes point towards each other. And then drop your bottom down to the heels. I like to, as I extend my hands forward, I like to sway my chest from side to side and keep bringing it and melting it further down to the mat. And then bringing the forehead down so my gaze is down as well. And it doesn't matter if you don't reach the ground, it's all good. For those who find that it's quite difficult to bring the hips all the way to the heels, you're welcome to stay onto the forearms and then just gently drop the head down as well. So plenty of options. Listen to your body, see how it feels, and breathe. I really want you to connect with your breath. Your breath is what cleanses your body as well. It's really important. Intuitive breathing. How do you want your breath to be like? How does it make you feel? Let's take one cleansing breath all together. Inhale in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Let it go. Good job. Now slide your hands a little bit closer towards you. And we're going to bring the knees a little bit closer as well, but they're still roughly hip width apart. Your toes are untucked. We're going to start to drop the hips down, the knees stay down, and then start to lift the chest up. As you do this, squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your thighs as well. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and notice if you're rounding them, if you're collapsing forwards. I really encourage you to lift up into your chest, pull the shoulders back to protect the lower back, squeeze the buttocks through the whole time, keeping that engagement. As you exhale, we're going to bend the knees and drop back into your child's pose. The hips come back down again to the heels. And again, inhale, round your spine to rise up. As you exhale, dropping the hips, nice and slow. Inhale to lift the chest, pull the shoulders back, gaze up. As you exhale, sit back down again into your child's pose. Use the breath. Inhale once more to rise up, round through your spine. As you exhale, push the hips down. Inhale to lift the chest, draw the shoulders back, gaze up. As you exhale, find your tabletop. So tabletop position, the spine is in neutral. Align your wrists underneath your shoulders, more or less. Nice straight line. And then from this position, tucking the toes under, sending the hips high into your downward facing dog. The heels can be off the floor, but the most important thing here as well is to make sure that your fingers are spread. Your index fingers are more or less pointing forward, so no crooked arms, please. Otherwise, you will have wrist pain. Connecting the full palm to the floor, and then really pressing into your fingertips so the knuckles slightly lift off of the mat. Start to walk out the legs, bend into each knee, and shift the weight from one foot to the other. Keep the gaze down to your toes if you can. And then heels off the floor, press the belly, the chest to your thighs. Walk the hands to the feet, to the back of the mat. Keep the knees bent so everything is nice and soft. Allow the whole body to just drape forwards. Let go of the tension in your neck. Maybe just take a moment to roll out your neck. Rounding through your spine very gently, begin to rise on up in 3, 2, and 1. Come into a full standing position. As you inhale, bring the hands up. Really lengthening. As you exhale, bring your hands to the back and interlace your fingers. I'm going to face the back of me too so you can see what I'm doing. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Lift into your chest. Draw the shoulders down. So your chest is lifting. The shoulders are feeling the stretch. And now from here, gently tilt your chin to your chest. So we're tilting and tucking the chin towards the chest until we can find our neck muscles being stretched. Keeping the gaze down. Gaze down to your chest or down to your feet. And keep pulling the arms towards the back. Try not to lock your elbows too much. You don't want to lock the elbows. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Good job. Inhale. Sweep the hands up. As you exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees if you need to. So just slightly bend the knees. Hands down in front. Walk forwards with the hands into your downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. This time, high onto the tips of your toes. Walk the feet forwards to the top of your mat. As you inhale, sweep your hands up. As you exhale, prayer down through the center of the chest. Forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. I'm making the movement nice and slow to begin with. And as you exhale, ground your hands fully. Step in the right foot, left foot into your plank position. Push the floor away from you. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the belly. Activate through the whole body. Make it strong. Next time you breathe out, drop the knees down. Release the whole body flat. Bend your elbows to the back and tuck them in a little bit towards the body line. Now, widen your legs. So create more of a distance between the legs. Squeeze the thighs, point the feet, squeeze the buttocks. As you inhale, a wide-legged lower cobra. Squeeze the buttocks to protect your lower back. It's really important. Keep lifting into that chest. One more breath. Inhale. As you exhale, legs stay, but you're just going to fold the tops of the feet in so you can drop back into a wide-legged child's pose. Inhale, 1, and by the way, you can take this child's pose at any time through your practice when you need a little break. Exhale. On the next inhale, rise back up to all fours. As you exhale, tuck your toes under. Send the hips high into your downward facing dog. 3 breaths in your down dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale, 1. Inhale, 2. Exhale, 2. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. Left heel can come off the floor as you step your left foot to the center of the mat. On the in-breath, bring the right leg up, point your foot. As you breathe out, bend your knee, tilt the hip to open. Keep driving the right knee up and the right heel to the left buttock to feel that right hip. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to do a tiger curl. So bring that right knee to your chest or to your nose or to the forehead. Push it forwards, round through your spine. Hold for 1 breath. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to step through to the front with the right foot. Right foot lands to the front of the mat. Drop your left knee down. Untuck your back toe. And you're going to rise up. So I really want you to push forwards with your awareness, with your body. Maybe like no hands as well, just to kind of feel what you're doing. The more you push forwards into that right hip, the more stable that you will feel in this pose. I see a lot of the times people draw back and then they wobble. So you need to find that stability by pushing forwards. One more breath. Inhale. As you exhale, your left hand on the inside of your right foot, but a little bit towards the left side. And then the left shin spins to the left side. So you're twisting, right? Left shin to the left side. Extend your right leg to the back of your mat and keep it engaged. Do not relax your right leg. Flex the right toes towards you. Squeeze the right thigh. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring your right hand up. You got this. Inhale, one. As you exhale, keeping the engagement in the leg, slowly release the right foot to hover just above the floor. On the in-breath, reach the right leg back up again. As you exhale, right foot to hover. Inhale, bring it up. You should feel the right glute working. Keep it engaged. Exhale, completely set your right foot flat. So it's into full extension. Right foot is flat. Walk both hands across to the center. So to the right side fully. Right leg stays long. Your left leg stays bent. And I want you to drop down. See how low you can go towards the left heel with your bottom. And then fully extend your both hands in front of you. Relax your head. Bring the gaze down. Holding here for 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Walk the hands back towards you so you can come up. As you push into your hands, you rise up. Left hand back to the center of the mat to the front. Right leg lifts on the in-breath. As you exhale, bring the right knee closer to the belly and the chest. You're going to feel that left glute, the bottom glute working hard. See if you can grab hold of your right knee or the right shin and just bring it in closer so you feel the right hip working for 1 breath. Inhale. As you exhale, ground your right hand down and just see if you can spin and step the right foot forwards. Both hands onto the ground, but in front of you. I like to use fingertips or maybe blocks. And then tuck the left toe under. Bring the left knee off the floor. Your back leg is active and strong. Squeeze the thigh. Inhale, move your weight forwards. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, move it forwards. Exhale, back. 1 more. Inhale, forwards. And exhale, back. From this position, we're going to take our back leg, left leg, out to the left side. So it's going to be like a whole spin. And then we're going to land to the top of the mat. So I'm going to do it first. Right? So lift the left leg up. And then support yourself with your hands. Take the left leg all the way out as high as you can. So you feel the legs working to the left side. And then as you release your left foot, I just want you to hover and tap your left foot to the back of your right heel. Tap, hold. Bring it back up again to the side. Exhale, tap, hold. Get uncomfortable, breathe. 1 more. Inhale, left leg up. As you exhale, set your left foot wide to the side of the mat. So both feet are wide. Then see if you can squat down. If you want to squat down halfway, that's fine. Or if you can, squat down all the way into your malasana. Use your elbows to push out the knees. Lift into your chest. Remember, through yoga, you're creating space. So So you do everything to open up, to create space. Space for new things, right? Space for positivity, space for the good feels, everything. Okay, breathe. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale. As you exhale, set your fingertips to the front. Start to lift the hips up. Inhale to halfway lift, straight back, gaze forwards. Exhale to forward fold over your legs. Bend the knees if you need to. Now, with the right leg, use your fingertips to ground. As you inhale, engage through your right foot. Flex the right foot. Inhale, bring it up. As you exhale, sweep it all the way to the back. Land the right foot back of the mat. The right heel is off the floor. And now I want you to sink into your hips. But keep your back leg strong. Don't collapse into your back leg. As you inhale, rise up. High crescent lunge. Arms up. Bend into your front knee. Squeeze the back thigh. You got this. Now from this position, we're going to go ahead and bring your right hand to the back. And just place a palm, kind of like facing the back, if that makes sense. The top of the hand is resting on your lower back. For those who can go a little bit further, hook it to the outside of the left side of the hip. Whilst the left arm, keep pulling it upwards. And now see if you can, option to stay here of course, but see if you can, lean your upper body with the left hand towards the right side. And stay. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Nearly there. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Left hand reaches forwards. Spin your back heel down and in. Keep bending into that front knee. Sweep the right hand up and to the back. Warrior two. Gaze forwards. Push the left knee towards the left side. Don't allow your front knee to collapse inwards. Check in with your posture. Become self-aware of your practice. Squeeze the back thigh. Notice how this pose makes you feel. Warrior two. Windmill the hands down. Right heel spins off the floor. Step it back into your downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Inhale 1. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. As you exhale, let's take that wide-legged child's pose. Bring the knees nice and wide. Your toes point towards each other. So fold them in. And then see if you can drop the hips down. Extend the hands forward or maybe fold them on top of one another so your shoulders get to rest. Relax your forehead. Relax your breath. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. If you have your arms folded, fully extend them forwards. We're going to rise up to all fours as you inhale. As you exhale, tuck your toes under, send the hips high. Downward facing dog. Your left side, my lovelies. You got this. Step the right foot to the center, right heel off the floor. Inhale, left leg high. This is your 3-legged. As you exhale, bend your knee. Tilt the hip to open. So really become aware if you're holding the knee lower. So I really want you to tilt that hip to open to feel the stretch. Left knee up, left heel to right button. Getting closer. Inhale. As you exhale, get ready for that tiger curl. Left knee to chest or forehead or chin. Rounding through your spine. Move your body weight forwards. Hold for 1 breath. Engage that core. Inhale. As you exhale, the left foot lands in between the hands forwards. Nice big step. I know it can be quite hard with this one. Drop the right knee down and tuck your back toe. Low lunge. Rise up. With your awareness, push everything forward. I want you to push forward so that you can even feel the right hip flexor working, the right quad as well. So square the hips maybe a little bit, automatically squeeze the right glute, push forwards, breathe. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath, inhale. As you exhale, your right hand, take it towards the right side of the mat. Spin the right shin to the right side as well. Extend the left leg to the back. Flex the left toes towards you. Squeeze the left thigh. As you inhale, bring the left hand up. As you exhale, with the left leg engaged, slowly drop the left foot to hover. Strong left leg, inhale, bring it up to roughly hip height. Make your glute work. As you exhale, drop it down to hover. Last one. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, fully drop the leg down. Keep the leg extended. Releasing the bottom down to the right heel. So you feel the stretch on the inside of that left leg. And then fully extend your arms towards the front, in front of where you are. Guiding your gaze down. The back of your neck is nice and relaxed. 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful, guys. Walk the hands a little bit closer back towards you so you can prop yourself back up again to where we were. Bring the right hand to the center, the top of the mat. From this position, left leg lifts. Inhale. As you exhale, draw the left knee closer to you. See if you can grab hold of your left knee, the left shin. Pull it in a little bit closer so you're opening up into that left hip. Breathe it in. As you breathe out, see if you can step that left leg forward. So you're twisting, stepping. Back foot of the right foot. So tuck the right toes under, right knee is off the floor. I like to place both hands on the inside of my left foot. So it gives me more space. Back leg is engaged. Inhale, move forwards. Exhale, back. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. Let's do last one. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, back. Get ready for that step to the side, if that makes sense. So right leg lifts, then goes to the side, and then taps your left heel. So inhale, right leg lifts. All the way out to the right side as you exhale. Right foot taps the back of the left heel. Inhale, bring your right leg up, make the right leg work. Exhale, tap the left foot. One more. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, set your right foot wide. Both legs nice and wide. Heels in, feet out, maybe a little bit. Squat down, Malasana. Drop down into those hips. Push your knees to open with both of your elbows. Lift into your chest. Remember that space. Breathe. You've got this. We're nearly there. We're nearly into the juicy yin part. So just a few more bits. Bring the hands down in front of you. Lift the hips high. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Left leg. Inhale, left leg to the side. So really lean into your right foot. So the left leg can lift. Sweep it to the back. Set your left foot to the back of your mat. Left heel is off the floor. Bend into your front knee. Drop down into your hips. Inhale, rise up like the phoenix you are. Bring the arms up, lift into your chest. Strong legs. This time, left hand binds behind. Right hand, use your inhale to really draw it up and then bring it all the way. If the left. So lean the whole upper body to the left side as well. 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Right hand reaches forwards. Back heel spins down and in. Split the left hand to the back. Warrior 2. Bend into the right knee. Push to the right side. Do not allow the right knee to collapse inwards. Legs are strong. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Step it back. Downward facing dog for 3 breaths to stay. Inhale, 1. Exhale, 1. Inhale, 2. Exhale, 2. Last breath. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. We'll transition into sleeping swan. As you inhale, bring the right leg up, point your foot. As you exhale, drive the right knee in between the hands forwards. Fully extend the left leg to the back. Okay, once you're here, I want you to find the stretch of the right glute and the outside of the right thigh. If you have one or the other, it's all good. But just make sure that you're feeling the target area of the stretch. And then work your arms down. Maybe stay on the forearms or maybe fold the arms and rest your forehead on top of the arms. And once you're in that position, my lovelies, just close down the eyes. Relax your breath completely and enjoy the stretch. I'm going to set the timer. We're going to hold this for, I'm going to say, 1.5 minutes today. You live your life, you call it shadow. You come apart and you go black. I'm going to switch up the music. The reason why I combine a vinyasa type of flow with yin yoga is because it balances our energies, our body really well. So we do get sometimes a little bit too stagnant, and therefore we lose the motivation to really move our body. And yes, of course, sometimes that reflects maybe perhaps how tired we are. So we need to really respect that maybe we don't need to move the body that time. But sometimes when we check in with ourselves, it's because when we become too stagnant, too comfortable in doing nothing. And so any time a new movement comes into our lives, we find it quite difficult to stick with. But if we learn to be patient, but also learn to take it step by step, don't do a 1-hour workout if you have not had a 1-hour workout before ever in your life, for example. It's not likely that you're going to stick to it for a longer period of time. Yes, the motivation might be there for the first couple of weeks, but then you probably will drop it because it's a really long time to stick to something and start something. So what I say is that even if you don't feel like moving for, let's say, 30 minutes or 1 hour or 45 minutes, maybe you can start with 5 or 10 minutes. And just like this, we can take this out into the real world. So something that you know that needs to be done, perhaps on your to-do list, or something that you always wanted to do but you don't have the motivation perhaps to start. Usually the motivation happens when we start doing it. It starts to slowly creep in. And so starting with 5 or 10 minutes, something that you want to perhaps cultivate or bring into your daily practice, it's a really good way to get things going. And so now, gently start to ease your way out of the pose, and we're going to change your legs. So we're going to step back into our downward facing dog for the transition. Tucking the toes under, lift the hips high. As you inhale, bring the left leg up, point your foot. As you exhale, glide that left knee forwards in between the hands. Extend your right leg to the back. Fully untuck the toes. Finding that left glute, the left outside of your thigh stretch. Guide yourself down onto the forearms, and if your body allows, fold the arms and rest your forehead on top of the arms for the full sleeping swan. And once again, closing down the eyes, relaxing your breath. I always feel that yoga is like coming back home to yourself and peeling the fake identities that sometimes we can hold from society, from how other people expect us to be like, and holding on to these titles, mother, sister, friend, best friend, father, brother, everything. It's just like, sometimes we just need to drop everything and come back to ourselves. And I find that the best way to do that is through yoga, through mindfulness, through self-awareness. We can start to let go of the titles, of the expectations that we are held against by others, by the society, and even by ourselves, our minds, in case we picked it up from anywhere that perhaps in childhood, or that the people that we hang around with. A lot of the times we tend to find that once we start the self-development process, the circle that surrounds us, the friends, perhaps even some family members, start to slowly back away and drop off. And it's not a bad thing. It just shows that you are growing. You are growing, and you no longer are able to be surrounded by lower energy people, lower energy scenarios, if that makes sense. And your life becomes more fulfilling, your life becomes more happier. You start to be surrounded by people who enjoy the same things as you do, so you connect better, you grow together, you support each other. And it becomes just a beautiful, beautiful process. All right, my lovelies, and now slowly start to ease your way back out again of the pose. And this time we are going to come to lay down on your backs. Extend your legs fully. Allow them to be nice and wide. And slowly rolling the spine onto the mat. Your palms are facing up. If possible, close down the eyes. If closing down the eyes makes you anxious, I invite you to just have a really soft gaze, and maybe partially close down the eyes. And as you settle onto your back, just notice if you are keeping your arms straight, like creating tension by keeping them straight, or your fingers straight. I want you to relax completely. So let the arms relax, let the shoulders drop, let your fingers relax, and allow them to just naturally curl in. No control of holding the body straight. Bring your awareness to the back of your neck and allow the back of your neck to relax. Drop into that heaviness, that stillness. Maybe slightly part your teeth. Relaxing the throat and the tongue. Allow it to drop to the back of your mouth. Guiding your awareness up to the space in between the eyebrows, your third eye, your intuition space. Relaxing the space in between the eyebrows and the forehead and the muscles around the eyes. And as you rest, instead of tuning out completely, I invite you to be really guided and be observant of your own body right now. Your Shavasana, your corpse pose, where you are right now, is the most important pose in your practice. A lot of you may hear me say this, especially if you are a regular practitioner of mine. And you can never leave a yoga practice without your Shavasana, your corpse pose. The end bit, the Shavasana bit, is where you get to marinate, where you get to basically put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Sometimes we set the intention with a certain question that we would like to ask ourselves, or a certain answer that we are seeking. And it can be as big as, what is my purpose in life? Or it can be as small as, allow me to find stillness, or that can be a big intention for some, so it really depends on the person. But a lot of the times in Shavasana, your corpse pose, where you are right now, the answers and that intention starts to manifest. Because if you think about, let's say, planting the seed, planting a flower or a seed or anything that needs to be planted. So we first think of the idea, think of what we want to do, whether it's perhaps we've seen a tree or a flower, and we think, okay, so I really want to plant this now. So you buy the seed, you plant it into the soil, you nourish it with water or with plant food, and you don't see the results straight away, but you know it's there. You're not expecting it to sprout the same second that you planted it. So why would you expect something to happen in real life or on your mat? You need to give that process time. Everything has a process, like in nature as well. The trees drop their leaves. They're not scared of dropping their leaves because they know that the time will come when new ones will blossom out. So trust the process in your own life. Everything happens in the most divine timing. Even when things are really hard, especially when things are hard, this is where we need to cling to the fact that you need to go through certain lessons in life to become the bigger version, the best version of yourself. And so in Shavasana, it's exactly the same. It's the moment of stillness, the moment where you marinate, where the seed is planted, and that stillness is very much needed for that transformation to happen. And so just go back to just observing the body, how you feel physically, emotionally, mentally. No judgment, just observing, just noticing subtle energy perhaps moving on the inside of the arms, any tingling sensations that you might be feeling. With your eyes closed or just having that soft gaze, I invite you to take a really long, slow, deep breath in and hold the breath at the very top, finding that pause. And then whenever it feels right for you, ever so slowly letting the breath out through your mouth. then just go ahead and relax your breath. Come back into a natural breathing rhythm. With each inhale and exhale, become more aware, a little bit more awake, a little bit more present of your surroundings. Take a nice, lovely big stretch, arms overhead, point the feet forwards if that feels good, or whatever comes naturally to you. It's your practice. And then, if possible, just start to hug the knees back into the belly and the chest, wrapping the hands around the knees, or perhaps the backs of the thighs. Gentle rocks from side to side. Coming to rest on the right side of the body fully. Relax into that right side. Don't rush to come up. So relaxing on that right side, keeping the eyes closed if you can. Relax the right hip, right shoulder, the belly. Take another deep breath in. And a full breath out. Using the left hand, using the left palm, press into the floor. To work your way back up again into your seated. Finding a comfortable seated position to end your practice. Collecting the hands in prayer at the heart center. Gently tilt the head down towards your prayer, towards your intention with your eyes closed. Your spine is nice and straight, your shoulders are relaxed. And taking this pause in this moment to really thank yourself, thank your body. Thank you for choosing to practice and be with me. Thank you for your energy, your commitment, and your openness. I hope you have enjoyed your session today. Until next time, peace, love, health, abundance, from my heart to yours. Namaste. So thank you so much again for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed your practice, and leave any comments, any questions that you have underneath the video. Lots of love. Have a fabulous Friday and weekend. Take care.